In Revit, you can customize the thermal properties of the wall, window, floor, and roof constructions to accurately reflect the materials that you would like to use in your design. To change the thermal properties of walls, roofs, floors, or ceilings, you follow similar steps to modify the structure of these constructions. But changing the thermal properties for glazing is a bit different. To change a window or glazing element, you edit its properties and change the Analytical Properties setting to a common glazing type with prescribed thermal properties. Using these detailed element thermal properties for glazing elements produces a more accurate energy model rather than simply relying on the conceptual or schematic types. Let's get started by opening the Revit model we'll use for this analysis. Open the Building Model, Simple L Building, Glazing Materials Revit model. Next, we'll verify the energy settings that are currently set for the project. On the Analyze tab, select Energy Settings. Verify that Use Building Elements mode is selected. Then open the Advanced Energy Settings by clicking Edit, and confirm that the Export category is set to Spaces, if they're defined for your model. Next, we'll enable Detailed Elements for the thermal properties. In the Advanced Energy Settings dialog, check the Detailed Elements checkbox. Then click OK twice to apply these energy settings changes. Now let's view the thermal properties for a window type. Open the default 3D view if necessary, and select a window in your model. Click the Edit Type button in the Properties palette, and note the thermal properties listed for this window type in the Analytical Properties section of the Type Properties dialog. The thermal properties are determined by the type of glazing selected in the Analytic Construction cell. Now let's create a new window type with different glazing properties. Click the Duplicate button to create a new window type, then enter a new name, for example 36-inch by 72-inch double glazing. Click OK. Open the Glazing Types menu in the Analytical Construction cell of the Properties palette, then scroll down and choose Double Glazing, a 1/4 inch thick, clear, low E, that's an E of 0.05, glass. Note how the thermal resistance, solar heat gain coefficient, and visual light transmittance properties change to reflect the improved properties of this glazing type. Click OK to apply these changes. The analytic construction of each window type used in your model is set independently. To change all windows, you must change this property for each window type. In this model, all the windows are the same type, so the change you made will apply to all of the windows in the model. Next, let's view the thermal properties of the curtain panel glazing. Hover the cursor over the edge of one of the glazed panels in a curtain wall, then tab repeatedly until only one panel is selected. When only one panel is selected, click that panel to lock in your selection. Note that since we've selected a Glaze System Panel, the System Panel Glazed type is selected in the Properties palette. Click the Edit Type button in the Properties palette. Note the thermal properties listed for this panel type in the Analytical Properties section of the Type Properties dialog. Thermal properties are determined by the type of glazing selected in the Analytic Construction cell. Now let's change the thermal properties of the curtain panel glazing. Open the Glazing Types menu in the Analytical Construction cell of the Properties palette. Scroll down and choose Double Glazing, a 1/4 inch thick, clear, low E, that's an E of 0.05, glass. Note how the thermal resistance, solar heat gain coefficient, and visual light transmittance change to reflect the improved properties of this new glazing type. Click OK to apply these changes. This change to the Glaze System panel will be applied to all curtain walls that use this panel type. Now we're ready to generate insight using these new detailed glazing properties. Go to the Analyze tab and click Generate. If the energy model has not already been created, accept the prompt to create it now. If an energy model already exists, choose whether to use the existing model or to generate a new one. When the Insight analysis is complete, we can access the results and view them in the Insight interface. Go to the Analyze tab and click Optimize to access the results in the Insight interface. The analysis results will use the detailed thermal properties specified, and the as-modeled data point for the window glass factors will reflect the values of the selected glazing types.